There.
The thing is, though, if you saying that and you don't have anything that's growing around
Where
you,
your fruits at,
if you're
though?
not being fruitful,
Come on now.
what are you really doing other than just giving empty advice?
You're a barren vine. You're a barren tree.
Planning is necessary. So 2A was planning business. Number 2 was planning your person. We're gonna give you a third one, and then we're gonna be in with this. Third one, man. The third one is this, and it's gonna be a 3 for me and Josh both.
Yeah.
So Josh gonna give his third. I'm gonna give my third. 3 for me is this with planning. Is stick to the plan.
God damn it, Kev. Look,
Like-
mine was implementation. Like, you gotta follow through.
Look, it's a cycle. Capitalism is a cycle. This is not rocket science.
It's not.
In capitalism, 1 + 1 literally equals 2.
Every time.
Like, it's numbers. You're not going to get around the numbers in capital. No matter how you try to move along the Pythagorean theorem and all of your 3, 6, 9 and all of that, it's 1 + 1 equals 2.
Yep.
Even elementary kids understand this. You want to know why they understand it? Because capitalism was designed for kids to be indoctrinated into a system where they become employees. You've been indoctrinated. Look, this is the thing. It was designed that way. When you came in the world, from the time you came out the womb,
Right.
and a doctor, I want y'all to understand, and the doctor received you into this world, that was the first part of your indoctrination. Matter of fact, it was done before that when your parents was.
Your parents were.
The only way you break this system is to start thinking for yourself. And that's why we're here.
Damn, that's tough. Your indoctrination started with your parents. Like, you weren't even growing yet, and you were already being future. You were already being indoctrinated. That's fucked up. And I'm looking back on my life, and I'm like, shit. God damn. It started early, bro.
But your parents, because this is the thing, your parents can only do the best they can
They can
in
only
the
do the
system
best
they
they
in.
can.
It's
And they in the
environment
same
and
system that
genetics.
you in?
Yeah, they can only do so much. And,
Right.
and that's when I started being more compassionate.
I had to.
You know what I'm saying? It's like my parents did the best they could.
Yep.
I love them.
Yep.
But they did the best they could so that I
With
can do
what
the
they
best I
had.
can. And my best is different than their best.
It's different. Whew. Man, you know what? I have to make a side note, because this has really been on my head for like the last 3 days with MLK Day. MLK Day just passing.
We got to have one episode.
Yeah, we will. Let's do that next week. I said some shit last year, and it was really, really emotionally based. I really was kind of poo-pooing on the civil rights movement. Really just being insensitive. I hate Kevin, y'all.
No, you hate Deshaun.
Yeah, I hate Deshaun, because Deshaun is fucking petty. All right, so last year I was saying things like we really didn't gain anything from the civil rights movement. There were really some missions that we really could have just did without. You know, there were some figures in Black history that really we could have left out. This is things that I was saying last year, right?
Oh, but when you go read, bruh.
Boy, was I wrong.
Hey, Josh, I'm going to tell you what. I just read this again this year. I had watched that video you posted on social media, by the way, 4 years ago with King. Where he was like the and I'm not saying that to I'm not saying that to cap, but I'm saying it like this. That's how I knew. I was like, hey, boy, if you could have saw that other side of King, where it was like, so it got to the point where he was like, hey man, hey look.
So
y'all remember the Bible where Jesus turned over tables and was like, hey, look, you're not finna keep doing this.
Jesus walked in the he walked in the
King was like that too.
Yeah, he really was.
They just don't show that part to you.
So that's really where
we done with tax planning, by the way.
Yeah, the tax planning is done. If you need some help, just go back and watch some videos. But yeah, so that's really one of my things, or was one of my things, is that like I knew that side of Martin existed, and the fact that they only portrayed the turn the other cheek Martin,
the Gandhi type,
the Gandhian, pupil Martin, really was kind of frustrating.
The Mother Teresa, if you want to use an archetype, just know that whole I'm peaceful and I'm like
love thy enemy.
Yeah, that's love not
thy enemy.
Man.
Right. So Martin really, in some senses, was more radical than Malcolm.
Man,
right. So
yes,
Martin was really about that dollar.
Yeah.
Right. And me and Kev, we talked about this. What was that yesterday? Malcolm was really built the community. He was really
a community builder.
Community builder.
He was,
right.
He was.
I mean, and that's what the Nation of Islam. That's what they do.
Yeah, they build community.
Right? That's their whole platform.
But Malcolm came about that dollar too. Like,
Malcolm was definitely about that dollar.
When he linked up with Martin,
because you can't do that shit for free.
Nah, you can't. You can't.
Huh?
You can't. But Malcolm had to realize that towards the end of his life.
So
Martin did too, though.
Yeah, and that's usually how it goes. So with that being said, like I really have to apologize.
That's big of you, man, to do that. Like, and I'm serious because that level of growth and maturation and understanding within self. Man, I had to apologize. Like, I have regrets.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I do believe in your L's can be a lesson.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, but I'm also a person that say I got regrets.
Yeah.
In that sometimes I'm reckless in my nature.
That's
like
true.
having chaotic
I'll
energy
take that.
is definitely something that all people have.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I express it at that moment don't make me a bad person.
Right.
It just means at that moment, man, I'm angry.
Right. I showed that
Yeah.
side of me.
Yeah.
Right?
And that side gonna come out from time to time, and I'm okay with that.
I'm human.
But the other side of it is, are you willing to come back and have some type of redemption or some type of reciprocity
Yeah.
or accountability?
Yeah, the humility to be accountable is major, man.
That's the part where you stay balanced with your ego.
Yep.
And so planning, I'm gonna say this: planning is also where you let your ego go.
You gotta let your ego go.
And you start to. I was having a conversation with someone last night, and we was talking about fate and destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Fate is almost based in your ego, where you can't personally say yes and no, and fate is more like
where you hold your own fate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Destiny is a universe pulling you towards that
I can see
because
that.
it's also part of your fate.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to choose if you want to have your destiny or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Destiny is the universe. Fate is you.
This fate is you. Fate. Yeah. Fate is what you say. Destiny is what the universe says.
Are you going to be in alignment though?
But do you agree with the universe?
But if you disagree with the universe, you disagree with yourself.
Damn, we ain't got time. Why you bring shit up like this at the end of the damn?
Because that's the philosophical part about what we do.
All right, bet we got 8 minutes. That's enough time.
As you build a community, yeah.
So, moment of transparency when we talked about procession, right?
Yeah. Oh, so let me give them context. We was in a training with the tax teachers, and we were talking about procession.
Yeah.
And that process is beautiful. And Josh, you can take over now.
Yeah. So it's just funny that looking back, I've been in business for 2.5 years now. Looking back, I can see how everything is kind of falling into place, and decisions that I've made and opportunities that I've missed, and relationships that I've made and ruined and things like that. So everything in the past has brought me here to a point in time where I have the ability to choose if I want to work or not. Like if I want a 9 to 5, like I have that ability to say,
that's
I get a job.
That's
right?
priceless.
It's priceless. It's not. This is a high I probably haven't felt since ever, because it's freedom, right? And freedom is sweet as hell, right?
Priceless.
So recently, I just had some puppies. I got to give y'all all so much background information. I just had some puppies. I had 10 puppies I was taking care of for about 2 months. Actually just got them all sold, or where they've been sold. I just all got them to their forever homes.
Really?
Yeah. So that process is done.
Salute, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. All on the backs of social media, right? And that's another thing. I think we talked about that. How I made $3,500 in 2 weeks. And so, with that being said, I had to get used to dealing with animals, right? Like on a daily basis. So, one day I was going to get them some shots, and I asked the vet. I was like, "Hey, y'all need some help?" I was just there. I was in a good mood. I felt just on some vibrational shit. Like I just like their energy, right? So I just asked them if they need some help. And
still talking about procession, by the way.
Still talking about procession, and just so happened that the actual clinic manager was outside with the nurse that was talking to me about the medications that I got, and she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, I could. Sure, if you need some help, sure. I got time."
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, well, you joking, yada yada whoopie whoop." All right, so fast forward, I come back to the clinic for some more meds, and I'm like, hey, what time do we open up on Monday? Right? So on some psychology, I was using like collective words, right?
And then it's also called a something close. It's an understood close.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it's an acknowledged close. Like you closing them before you close them.
Before you actually close them. Like, so by using words like we and our, you take down their guard, right? And you already put them in a position of acceptance.
And that tactic got to be used at the right moment. You can't use that just
out there.
You can't.
Just starting the conversation. Hey, yeah.
It's timing too.
We would like to.
Yeah, it's timing because if you said too early,
right,
people will see you as being disingenuous.
They'll get turned off.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, what time do we open up on Monday? And she said, 7:30. She didn't even think about it, right? So that's how I knew I had her.
It was
right,
you
essentially.
closed
It was closed.
It. Yeah.
And she was like 7:30. I was like, okay, I'll be here at 7:15. Oh, you're joking, yada yada. And then she said, you know what? Don't come on Monday. Come on Tuesday. All right, bet. Tuesday, 7:15. I showed up. Had a job.
Hey, Josh, man, procession is not always what you want. Sometimes it's what you was designed to be.
That's what you was designed to do. And I said all of that to say, dog, like, I've been there for what, 2 weeks? This is the happiest I've been. Like, I've legit been waking up excited to go to work.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a long time.
But it's like, so when I became a teacher, that was my procession journey in that it's gonna keep going. Like you'll keep being you're a genuinely curious person in that way, but you got to find out what's your curiosity based in. Mm-hmm. And for procession, for people who don't understand that, it's like what is the purpose of a bee?
Yep.
And a bee goes from flower to flower to collect nectar.
Yep.
That's what the bee does.
Uh-oh.
But for the universe, it's to pollinate the other flowers.
Uh-oh. So now we're talking about jobs, right? Like what your actual job is, as opposed to what the purpose of that job is.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
And that's...
Hold on. We missed somebody. Somebody didn't catch that. Okay, so the bee goes to each flower, pollinating the flower, right? Mm-hmm. But to the bee, my job is just to bring nectar back to the hive. That's my job.
But your purpose is far.
My purpose
is far because
in the midst of me doing that,
you operate in multiple dimensions.
Come on now,
simultaneously.
Huh? So when I leave flower 1 and go to flower 2, that's cross pollination. Huh?
Yep.
I don't know if everybody knows how that process works, but I don't know. That was like 3rd grade science. But anyway, in that process, honestly, the flowers grow. Yeah. Right? That's the end result. Mm-hmm. Flowers grow in that process. Mm-hmm. Right? The bee is just doing his part. Because the universe has to take care of the watering. Y'all not hearing me? So you got a job, but then you have a bigger purpose. Like my job, well, now I'm a freaking social media manager for the clinic, right? That's the job. The purpose, though, is the overall brand of the business.
But and it's to take care of animals.
It's to take care of animals, yeah, basically.
But I'm saying like that's at the core of procession.
Yep.
And once you understand that, you don't give people discounts.
You don't.
Because you know your purpose.
You know your worth.
And part of knowing your worth is knowing your purpose.
Yep.
Hey, this is KD Young.
This is Josh Rucker.
I love you.
Peace.